aboard, everybody. I'm your pilot wannabe for today's flight, and we're going to be taking a pretty much entirely fictional airplane. Uh, we'll talk more about that later. I'm working my way through the planes that I'm interested in flying in the simulator that are actually still working. And then after I record today's flight, I'm going to uninstall and reinstall the simulator and see if that fixes anything, because I don't want to live like this until 2024 comes out, but we'll see. Anyway, we're going to sort of look at the flight plan, but we're going to do it in the world map, not Sky Vector. I mean, truly, this plane isn't realistic enough for us to mess with Sky Vector anyway. So we'll see you there in a minute. So here we are on the world map. We're going to be flying just the first part of the Grand Canyon. Actually, I don't know where the Grand Canyon officially starts and ends. We're actually going to start over here, Boulder City Municipal, and we're going to completely illegally buzz the Hoover Dam and fly illegally low over the water. Look at that plane buzzing along. Now it's gone. Anyway, fly illegally low over the water all the way into the start of the Grand Canyon here, and we'll pop up over the rim and land at the Grand Canyon West Airport. IG4 is the designation. This one is in one of the few scenery packs that seems to work decently for me on the Xbox. It came with these other bits of scenery here. The only one we're probably really going to look at is the Skywalk one. I'll try not to fly past it at 300 knots, but we'll see. And then we'll land at Grand Canyon West, which is a pretty good looking airport that actually works on the Xbox. It's crazy. All right. See you guys back at the plane. Okay, so back at the plane. I realized I didn't mention when we were looking at the world map that the airport we're going to, the scenery, it's Xcoder Designs, I believe is the name of it. I should have mentioned that when I was in there. But yeah, it's a pretty neat airport. You'll see it in a few. This plane is from Got Friends, which I'm confused about the name of the developer, because once upon a time I think they were called Got Gravel. I don't know. I'm confused about them. But it came in a pack, a very cheap pack for the Xbox. It was like $5, and it was 6 different planes. This is the one I've easily messed with the most out of the 6 planes. I won't get into what the other ones are, but this is the Vertigo, which is a fictitious plane. It's based on a was it JMB? Now I can't remember how the letters go. JMB, JBV, yeah, something like that. Anyway, there's a stock plane that comes with the simulator that is very much this plane with a reasonable propeller on it, and it's a piston engine plane, and it's a real, it's based on a real plane and all of that. I Got Friends took that plane and then pretended to put an 850 horsepower turboprop engine in it, and its performance numbers are kind of loosely modeled after a real airplane, real one-off airplane that one of the Patey twins, Mike Patey or Mark Patey, had built. It was like set the record for fastest turboprop airplane. I think certainly fastest single turboprop. I think it maybe even set the record for fastest turboprop period, even being faster than twin engine planes. Yeah, this thing's crazy. It's not real. But it's realistic adjacent. So I'm cool with it. And like I said, I'm running out of things to fly that I'm interested in, because everything is broken. I just rechecked a whole bunch of them before starting this, and yeah, everything's broken. So, like I said, after I record this, I'm going to uninstall and reinstall the whole simulator and we'll see. See if it helps. I don't know, not holding my breath. Anyway, let's get inside this thing. Not gonna take long to fire it up. It's it's more like a spaceship than an airplane. First, I suppose we should get the load. It kind of chews through fuel, but I guess it's my own fault for running it minimum of 75% power all the time. Anyway, I'm pretty much running around breaking the speed limit. The whole 250 knots under 10,000 feet. You're pretty much just blowing that all the time unless you really keep the throttle back. I guess we'll stick with a passenger, a co-pilot. Let's see. I mean, we can't see the co-pilot while we're in the plane, and we can't unsee the pilot or co-pilot when we're outside of the plane. So just kind of stuck with it the way it is. So let's turn on the fuel to both tanks. Good thing too. It would tear through one tank at a time. So main power. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the avionics so I can see the engine instruments. We're gonna turn on the strobe light because we don't have a nav light for some reason. That on full screen. We need to turn on the turbine ignition, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the fuel pump. I'm not following in a checklist. I don't know if there is a checklist. We're gonna turn this over to start the key, and yeah, see, things are starting to happen. Oh, I should double check that the parking brake is on. Yeah, there we go. Parking brake. This thing likes to taxi fast. Ooh, it's going to be loud in my headset too, it seems like. Might have to turn the sound down a little bit in my headset. There we go. Okay, engine's firing up good. Now the turbine ignition popped off on its own, so that's good. Seems to be stabilized. We'll turn the fuel pump off. We'll go ahead and turn on the landing light, which is apparently the only other light we have. I'm not going to set a course or anything. We're just going to follow the water and then watch for the airport to show up. Yeah, this has got G3000s again. It's got 3 down positions on the flaps and some kind of an auto setting, which I never put it on. And it's got a little toggle switch for the landing gear. Yep, it's a weird bird. Very, very weird bird. We probably should keep the transponder off since we're going to be flying completely illegally into the Grand Canyon. Yeah. But hey, whatever. Oh, another weird thing about this plane. This is the elevator trim right here. And it doesn't have autopilot. I'll explain why that matters in a second. But this is the elevator trim. And so I mapped that to one of the levers on my Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant because you just need to be all over the trim on this thing to stay at whatever altitude you're trying to stay at. And I've tried in the past to, with other planes, map the elevator trim to a lever on the throttle. But the problem is if you're running autopilot, then every time you adjust your engine power, it sort of reconnects with wherever you left the lever for the elevator trim, and it kind of throws things haywire. But in a plane like this that doesn't have autopilot, it really doesn't matter. Okay, I got a drink of coffee there. Oh, let me see. I want to set this up. Yeah, this plane saves nothing. I had set it up before to have the wind showing here, but I have to reconfigure it every time. Speed and direction. There we go. All right. Now if I can figure out how to get rid of that junk. There we go. Okay. I believe we need to take off from this runway that is to my right. Whatever runway this is. What is that going to be? Oh, hey, while we're over here. Yeah, check out the speeds. Never exceed speed, 435 knots. Crazy. Cruise speed, 350. Maneuvering speed, I'm assuming max maneuvering speed, 350. I don't know. Max flap down, 180. Max gear down, 140. And you can blow through those speeds pretty fast. Pretty low landing stall speed, though, with the flaps down, 55 knots. Yeah, it feels weird after you've been buzzing around at 400 knots to get down to 60 or 70 knots for landing. Feels very strange. And, oh yeah, and it's a magic airplane, obviously. Nothing can break. The circuit breakers aren't modeled, you know. They say in the description that it's got a pressurized cabin, but there's nothing indicating that it's a pressurized cabin. No controls for a pressurized cabin. All right, baby, come on. Takes a little juice to get it rolling, and then once you do, you put the throttle back down to idle, and it'll, if you don't get on the brakes, it'll just keep going faster and faster. Provided you're on level ground. This air, oh wow, spiky lag there. Really looks like the wind's coming from the other way. Why does this keep happening? Where the windsock isn't in agreement with the rest of the simulator. I guess we'll take off from down this direction. Anyway, yeah, see, we're trucking along at a good clip now. Yeah, gotta get on the brakes. We're not gonna need that much runway to take off. We're just gonna hop on, 27 and 9, huh? Oh wait, we're crossing a runway. Yeah. You know what? We're gonna cheat. We're gonna hop on this runway to get on to the other runway and just use what runway is left to take off. It'll be fine. Things are even less real today than normal. Okay. Oh, yeah, I was starting to talk about the plane. It came in a 6-pack. It was only like $5 or $6 for all 6 planes. And that's on the Xbox. If you are on PC, you can get this plane for free, along with all the other planes in that pack. But you know, us Xbox people, we're not special like that. We don't get free stuff. We have to pay for everything. So there's that. But yeah, you can get the plane for free if you're on the computer. Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to talk about is on takeoff. If you try to give this plane full throttle to take off, it will turn to the left so hard, far beyond what anything you can control. It'll just wrench itself right off the runway to the left because it has so much power. And there is no rudder or aileron trim, so even in the air, if you have any kind of power going to it, it's just constantly trying to roll to the left. That's crazy. So I've found that you need to be at 30% power on, what is it, the N1 here? Let's see. The torque, yeah. On the torque, you need to be at 30% or less on the takeoff roll if you want to have any hope of keeping it on the runway. Yeah, it's crazy, power. I'll try not to make everyone motion sick, but I can't really promise anything. All right, I'm gonna bump it up while I'm holding the brakes. That's probably enough for takeoff. Yeah, it's pretty reasonable if you stay at 30% or less. But if you crank it, it'll just wrench itself right off the runway. Okay, tapping the brakes, raising the gear, and getting more up to like 80% throttle. And we got a turn to go catch the river, to go up to the up to Hoover Dam there. I can zoom this out. I really should have zoomed it out before taking off. Yeah, this thing's crazy. Well, yeah, 76% on the torque, sure. We're already going 200, already blowing the speed limit. Yeah, going 200 and, oh, true airspeed's 311. Yeah, crazy. Okay, pushing the elevator trim down. Otherwise, it'll just keep trying to climb to space. Pretty much. Yeah, this thing's ridiculous. If somebody produced a plane like this, it wouldn't just be like a doctor killer, it would be an everyone killer. Not to mention, everyone would be blowing the speed limit all the time. You have to remember where I put my ground speed. Where did I put my ground speed? There it is. 354. 354 knots. We're only going over 100 knots over the speed limit. Sure. Yeah, and as far as doing coordinated turns, you know, using the rudder and all that, yeah, pretty much once you're flying, the rudder's pointless. You're not going to be able to coordinate it fast enough for it to matter. And there's the Hoover Dam, if I'm not mistaken. I'll double check before I actually release this video. Make sure I know what I'm talking about. I mean, I know anyone who's watched all of my videos is probably used to me not necessarily knowing what I'm talking about, but yeah. Ooh, got awful close to the water there. How about an outside view? Oh yeah, that was close to the water. That was super close. Yeah. I'm hoping for a short video. I mean, you can get anywhere pretty fast in this. Although, if you try to do any kind of like cross country with this thing, you pretty much want to use the AI co-pilot. Whoa! It's hard to see the surface of the water. That was close. That was very close. Yeah, that one got the heart beating a little bit. I want to take a drink of my coffee, but it seems unsafe, especially since I got to switch hands with the stick to do it. But yeah, here we go. Ah, coffee. Gotta stay caffeinated to operate this crazy bird. But anyway, if you're trying to do a cross country with this thing, that whole constant wanting to roll to the left and not having a aileron or rudder trim is super annoying. I kind of wanted to zoom the map back out some more, but now I'm too busy. I mean, I suppose I could back the power off some and have a little bit more sedate flight, but that is not the point of this. Okay, maybe I can back the map off more now. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh my god, I can't get it. Yeah, I can't get it. Maybe we get in this big part of the water here. I can do it. I can, even with the elevator trim on a lever on the throttle quadrant, it's still hard to keep this thing at a target altitude. It's got so much power, it just tries to do whatever it wants all the time. Okay, yep, see, we're losing altitude in a hurry while I'm trying to use the mouse. You know what, I'm gonna switch my viewpoint to the co-pilot's seat. See if that makes it a little easier to do this. Because I don't want to get off course. Okay. That's probably enough. Alright. Okay, now maybe I can devote more attention to actually flying the plane. Speaking of that, I happened to look down and make sure that I had hit record, and that's all it took to start getting crazy. Yeah, what's our speed now? 342 knots is the ground speed. Oh, 78% on the torque. Let's back it off to closer to 75. Oh, it's that little little hash mark right there is 75%. Okay, good to know. Yeah, we'll replicate this flight when Flight Simulator 24 comes out. I don't know if this plane will be immediately available in 2024. So we'll find something to replicate the flight. But if it is available, we'll do it in that. We'll see. I don't know how things are going to go when Simulator 24 comes out. I'm probably going to do obviously a first impressions when I first get my hands on it, and we'll actually record me poking around at the menus and whatnot, and seeing how it works. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to keep this thing flying level. See, if I let go of the stick, it just rolls to the left. I have to always be correcting it or trying to give it just the slightest little bit of right pressure, which is hard to do. Yeah, well, pretty soon we'll be twisting and turning in the canyon anyway. But yeah, so my first video on Simulator 24 is probably not going to be a flight per se. I mean, we might get into a plane and just fly to see what it looks like, or I don't know, maybe I should try to get into whatever bush plane is available and do that previous canyon run, that Utah canyon run, as my very first flight, just for comparison's sake. I don't know. I pictured always just doing a little fly around my home airport, the Purdue University Airport in West Lafayette, as being my first flight. So we'll see. We'll see. We're only like a month and a few days away from the release date. Crazy. That's why I'm going to try to uninstall and reinstall the simulator today. There's other videos I want to make, other flights I want to do before Microsoft Flight Simulator 24 comes out. I don't want to be not able to do the things I want to do before then. So we'll see. Okay, how are we doing here? Oh, it's not zoomed in enough to see IG4. That's disappointing. Worried we're gonna miss it. I'm pretty sure it's around about here. But maybe we should do a direct to, huh? Here, I'll hit the button for nearest airports. IG4. IG4. Direct to. Activate. There we go. Alright. So we'll see it. Just making sure we can see it. Yeah, we got a little high here. While we're up here. Yeah, this plane doesn't particularly care if it's right side up or upside down or on its side. It's just got so much power that it really, really doesn't matter. Of course, I'm headed for a mountain now. Yeah, in real life, I'm pretty sure if you put a 800, I mean, I don't know. I have no real experience to draw on to make this statement, but I'd be willing to bet that if you put a 850 horsepower engine on the front of one of these airplanes in real life, you would probably just tear it apart. See, I'm getting a little lost here. Oh, the water goes this way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the engine would just rip this thing apart. It would either rip right out of the front or tear the wings off or just burst into flames. Who knows? But it's fun to do in the simulator. I wonder if the next sim will not have this lumpy water like this. The lumpy water is annoying. Nobody likes lumpy water. Oh, I'm turning the wrong way. Oh, now I gotta be careful that I don't render myself unconscious with the G-forces. Yeah, did you see that? I started to black out from the G-forces. Yep. Yeah, I think I have it on. Well, I have the G-forces on, obviously, and then I have myself as just a regular pilot, not a trained pilot with a G suit on. So you could probably have, if you want to do like crazy aerobatics, you'd probably have more fun if you turn the G-force stuff off, or at least had yourself, set up as being in a G suit and being a fighter pilot. You could pull more G's without that whole blackout scenario, but you know, everyone has their own line of how realistic they want to be, and my line in there is that I'm just a dude who jumped in this crazy plane, and cross your fingers that I live. All right, now we're getting into the canyon. No matter what, like I said, I don't know where it officially starts, but I'd say we're officially in a canyon now, so it's pretty much got to be the Grand Canyon now. Boy, this video is going to be here I go predicting again, but I think it's going to be even shorter than I thought it was going to be because of how fast this plane is. Sorry if you weren't expecting that roll, but seemed like the easiest way to make this turn. Get another outside shot. Yeah, this thing's crazy. This is totally nuts, this plane. That's fun to screw around with. Yeah, we're almost there. Like I said, I'll try to get you a view of the, Grand Canyon. It's some kind of a visitor center thing. It has a glass walkway out over the canyon. We'll be coming up to that pretty shortly. As a matter of fact, I think it's up there. Yeah, this wasn't a whole lot of the Grand Canyon, I guess. Maybe I'll do another section of it. Okay, we're gonna start climbing because I think that visitor center thing is right up here on this ridge. Yeah, is that it? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Maybe I missed it. I thought it was around here somewhere. We'll find it for sure. Okay, so... That's that other thing. I think the cabins or whatever. Yeah, I missed it. Here, we'll get it. We'll find it this way somehow. Uh-oh. Starting to make myself pass out. Okay, there's the airport. Yeah, I missed it big time. So there's the airport. So the visitor center thing is straight ahead. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm curious how this is going to look in Simulator 24. Well, there it is, whizzing right by. Here, let's do active pause, if I can remember the button. There it is, active pause. All right, we'll go look at the visitor. Man, I'm really far from it already. Jeez. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'd like to go there sometime. You've got this glass walkway out over the edge. Pretty neat. I doubt there's a bunch of cargo boxes over there in real life, but okay. Oh, there's some kind of a stage set up here. Interesting. Yeah, pretty neat. Okay. Where did I leave my plane? Out here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Alright, back in the cockpit and unpause. Alright, see if I can get turned back around without rendering myself unconscious. Oops, started to get unconscious. Hey, there's stuff down there too. Oh, almost unconscious. Getting close. Yeah, and I wonder which direction we should land on the runway here. Not that it much matters. Runway's super long. I like to get a nice low flyover with this plane and then go straight up in the air, pull the throttle back, and come back down for a landing. I don't know why. Just seems fun. Okay. Now straight up in the air. Or at least as close to straight up as I can make it. I cut the throttle. Gaining altitude like mad, even with the throttle cut. And we'll roll it over. There we go. We'll just roll this into a downwind. Still have the throttle cut. I haven't looked up what pattern altitude would be, but this feels about right. See, we haven't gotten back down to speeds we can do flaps and gear and stuff like that. Let's see, was it one notch of flaps at 180? I feel like, what was it for the gear? 140 for the gear. Okay, now we can do gear. Gear down. I still haven't given it any throttle. Now I'm going to give it a little, just to stabilize our speed. Looking pretty good. Doing another notch of flaps. I may not even go full flap for the landing. Okay. Getting down into the double digits anyway. Getting blown off the runway just a smidge. Giving it more power. Too low. Okay, now I'm cutting the power. This thing is so touchy. Oh, going fast, going fast. Okay, flaps up. Turn the landing light off. And we'll head over to the park. A lot of buses here. Whole lot of buses here. Tons and tons of buses here. Guess I'll turn the transponder off. It's really about the only thing. I didn't turn the fuel pump back on or anything like that, so. Yeah, there's more buses here than airplanes. Not sure how I feel about that. It's an airport or a bus stop. And this thing is jerky. Oh, look, there's another one over there with the same paint scheme. I did notice that when I got this pack of 6 planes from Got Friends, quite a lot of the airplanes parked around at airports started being those 6 planes. Kind of weird. Good enough. Okay, parking brake. Yeah, pretty good parking job. Anyway. Parking brake. I don't really know how to turn this thing off. I've just been killing the fuel to turn it off. Not much you can do, about that. Does it have any checklists? Oh, it does have checklists. Okay. Interesting. Engine shutdown. Power level idle, yeah. Flight airworthiness check. Standby instruments off. Don't know what that means. Fuel selector off, yeah. There you go. Ignition's been off. Circuit breakers, I don't have any control over that. What you talking about, circuit breakers? Yeah, it doesn't do anything when you hit the button to see what it's talking about, yeah. Okay, so not bad. Avionics off. Strobe lights off. Main battery off. All right. So we'll hop out. So there we have it. Wow, the sounds like the ignition is on, which that doesn't seem right considering. Oh, the ignition is on. Shouldn't be working with the main battery off, but whatever. Yeah, that was the ignition. The little spark like in your gas grill. Apparently I had the ignition on the whole time. I thought it had popped itself off during startup, but I was mistaken. Anyway, so do we learn anything? We learned that this fictional mythical airplane is ridiculously fast. It's kind of fun to play with. I know some people don't like that it's fictional, but it's certainly not as fictional as the Pelican for Halo, from Halo that you can have in the simulator, or the Ornithopter from Dune. It's miles more realistic than either of those. So there's that. Anyway, we didn't learn much else. I think this is going to actually be a short video for a change. Crazy. But kind of don't want it to end because the next thing I'm going to do is uninstall the simulator from my Xbox and reinstall it. And that probably means I'll have to reinstall all of my planes too. So we'll see what happens. Wish me luck, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Papa Whiskey Bravo.